You guys really didn't think that I was going to stake this YouTube channel, right? The one that I've spent hundreds of hours in the last 8 months building. I was very careful in the initial video to say my YouTube channel and not this one specifically. And the primary purpose of that video, or in me saying that I would delete my YouTube channel if they lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets, wasn't to trick you or to clickbait the video. It was just to get everyone hyped up. It was to instill some confidence and create a level of optimism that we desperately needed here in Leafs Nation, because you'd be surprised at how your energy going into something affects the outcome. The purpose of the last couple of videos were not meant to be objective at all. They were meant to be fun. They were meant to be for Leaf fans, because there were a lot of ups and downs in that series against the Blue Jackets, and I honestly think a couple of people just needed a little bit of positivity after some of those. But in today's video, by the way, welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Stephen Brown. We are not going to sugarcoat nothing, because like I said in my previous video, we got some answers after the play-in round to questions that we had previously looming after the season shutdown. Well, we got some more answers with the end of the year press conference, I guess. Let's go over these quotes. And the first one here from Kristen Shelton, Mitch Marner saying on his series versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, the first game I wasn't engaged at all in the physicalness of the play, and then from that point on, I felt like I got a lot more engaged in playing as my old self, but 0 goals isn't going to get the job done. You know what else isn't going to get the job done, Mitch? Talking. You know what else isn't going to get the job done, Mitch? 1 even strength point in the last 12 playoff games from you. Let's move on to the next one. This next one here from Chris Johnson and Kyle Dubas saying, I don't get the criticism of Mitch Marner one bit. I really struggle with it. He's the guy that plays his ass off every night. Well, you know what, Kyle? Sometimes trying really hard isn't, you know, you could... Next quote. Terry Koshin saying, John Tavares, it's been a pretty miserable couple of days. John, I think you meant decades. You were born here, John. It's decades. Kristen Shelton with Jason Spezza on his future with the Leafs. I know that I'm not the player I once was, but I do feel like I can help quite a bit, and the fire still burns, and I really hope to be back here next year. You know what, Jason? I really hope that you're back here too. And that was a nice little break, because this next quote's going to send things right off the rails. And I'm just going to let you guys read this one, and I'm going to let it marinate for a second here, because I understand defending Mitch Marner. Kyle Dubas even went as far as to call the criticism towards Mitch Marner idiotic, and I understand what that is. He's defending Mitch Marner to the fullest of extents possible. He is joining him in the fire. He jumped on the literal grenade that what it was, because Mitch Marner is talking about his work ethic again, and he's saying that he's not engaged, and everyone's like, well, you got 11 million reasons to be engaged in the play, and Kyle Dubas jumped on that grenade for him, and I guess when you're criticizing Mitch Marner, you gotta criticize Kyle Dubas hand in hand, because he's the one that gave him the contract in the first place. But Kyle Dubas hints Cody Ceci's metrics internally reflected his value defensively, and that the information will cast him in a different light if/when data like that becomes public. Kyle, the contract is over! I understand defending this guy at Christmas because there was still half a season left, but it's done! He's not on the team anymore! The league office can't revoke the trade. They can't give us back Zaitsev. Ceci is gone. Stop defending him. And whenever Kyle Dubas defends Cody Ceci, it feels like it's coming so far out of left field that it's almost like a Cody Ceci point shot. Like this didn't hit anything on the way towards the net. That's the actual shot that he took. Greg Wyshynski here. You all think I have one way of going about things and that it's never changing, said Leafs GM Kyle Dubas. The vision, for me, is always changing. Well, you know what, Kyle? Change it right now. Do a complete 180 on everything you just said in this press conference. Please. Either that or just shut up. And maybe that's what this is, right? Maybe this is what I should have said at the beginning of the video. I need everyone on the Toronto Maple Leafs or a part of the Toronto Maple Leafs, not named maybe Kyle Dubas and Brendan Shanahan, because, you know, those guys got to talk at, like, the draft and then, like, free agency, stuff like that. I need everyone else to just shut up until actual games are played. Every single Mitch Marner quote that I can remember is coming after an absolute humiliating loss, and it's never fun. It's an absolute field day of just misery from start to finish, and everyone just dunks on the guy, and then he cries about it afterwards. What did you think was going to happen when you asked for as much money or more than Austin Matthews? What did you think was going to happen? No. We're not going there. We're not doing that, because that's not what I would like to portray on this channel. What are we going to do? What are we going to do moving forward? Because we can't just yell. We can't. What did I say to everyone here on the channel after Game 3 happened? I just said everyone just needs to shut up, including the Toronto Maple Leafs in this situation, because the only talking that they need to be doing is on the ice, and that's with their actual play. So can we please bring the conversation back from sitting on your couch playing NHL 20, and let's actually look at this situation from a business perspective, because Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment is a business after all, and let's look at the situation how a business would actually handle their assets. Do you think that they are going to hot potato one of Mitch Marner, John Tavares, Austin Matthews, William Nylander, or Morgan Riley? And if you said yes to that question, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. I want to take you guys back to the 2005-2006 season, right after the 04-05 lockout just ended. I want to take you guys back to the 05-06 season, the year after the lockout. The Toronto Maple Leafs lost a lot of players, and John Ferguson Jr. was still the general manager of the team at the time. Ed Belfour was 40 years old. He desperately needed back surgery, and there was a man named John Sebastian Aubin who went on a ridiculous 9-0-2 run at the end of the season to get the Maple Leafs to within a point of the playoffs. On the final day, by the way. And that team missed the playoffs, and they didn't make any other marginal upgrades to the team in the summer of 2006. And like I said, Ed Belfour desperately needed back surgery, and they felt like he was too old. I mean, he was 40 years old at the time, so they needed a goalie, because they still were holding on to this pipe dream that they were going to contend for some reason. I don't know, if you look at the team, it really sucked. So they had this idea of contention, but they were like, we need a goalie. So they forced a trade. They reached into their prospect pool, threw Tuukka Rask to the Boston Bruins, and took back Andrew Raycroft. Would you like the Toronto Maple Leafs to force another trade in 2020 with one of the core players? Do you want another trade like that to happen? Unless there is a value trade to be had, and I'm talking like a Ryan Johansson for Seth Jones type trade. I am not forcing anything with these core guys. But you know who I am open to trading? Just about everybody else. Because I don't know about you, but Kasperi Kapanen and Travis Dermott and maybe a pick on top of that, like a second rounder or so, should get you back a decent defenseman, or at least a top 4 guy, a guy to at least play with Morgan Riley or Jake Muzzin. So I'm going to end off the video here, but the question that I would like to leave you guys is the one that was posed to Kyle Dubas that I specifically pointed out. Do you think that the potential of this group or of this core has been overrated? Or do they just need to make some adjustments and hope for the best? I will leave that up to you guys in the comment section of the video. Make sure to like the video if you did like it, and subscribe for more, because more is always on the way. And guys, remember, I still don't know.